Good morning, everybody. This is the AHIF Podcast, and today I'm joined by Suhail Bhatia, Director of Asset Management for CHIC, the leading hotel owner and developer in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, a key market in Africa. Good morning, Suhail. How are you this morning?
Thank you very much, Michelle. I'm very well. Thank you. We're absolutely delighted to be part of the podcast. Thank you for thinking of us. And I think it's a great opportunity to talk about some of the work that we're doing here in DRC. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, I'm really looking forward to our conversation today because we're really going to touch upon some of the, key challenges that you have come across in setting up the hotels in this area, which has a lot of opportunity, but I imagine quite a lot of challenges as well. But also with a particular concentration on technology and with a commitment to sustainable development, which are very key themes of the AHIF event as well. So let's just begin and set the scene really by allowing you to share with us the inception of CHIC and how it has evolved over time.
Okay, great. So CHIC was formed in 2017 in a group of local businessmen who've been here for 2 to 3 generations in DRC and grew up here and know the lay of the land, got together and decided to open up a hospitality company to bring in world-class accommodation into DRC. It was lacking, for lack of a better word. There was no quality branded accommodation. Really, I think they saw it from a need from all the visitors and guests they've been having over here for years, and everyone having a similar feedback and complaint about quality accommodation. And the businessmen being legacy builders and construction and realty felt they had the necessary expertise to bring this to DRC. And that's when they decided to get together, and CHIC was formed in 2017. And then I think then from there on, they've been focused on developing the projects in DRC first, and then see how they want to take it from there.
Okay, fantastic. And what do you believe sets CHIC apart in developing these state-of-the-art hotels and delivering this world-class hospitality that you've become renowned for in DRC? So what's the differentiator there, would you say, with CHIC?
So obviously, to refer to a point I made earlier, being legacy builders, they were also in diverse businesses. So be it fast fashion, retail, branded F&B, or developing their own in-house brands for F&B, infrastructure, IT, mining, etc., has exposed them obviously to a world of where they can bring in this expertise into DRC, which, for lack of a better word, does not have the necessary framework to provide um, quality accommodation at that level. And they felt that they could bring their expertise in and uh, doing premium high-end residences, commercial office spaces, hospitals, government projects. Hotels seemed like a natural transition for them, and it was easy to do. They were the contractors themselves, so that confidence and having obviously a great reputation for a quality build in DRC helped them. They had fixed chain supply chain. They had partners across. Obviously, they were venturing into a new field, so that also the learning curve started extending for everyone in the company. I think right from the engineer on site to right up to the partners to learn about how hotels will be constructed and made. And obviously, what we focus on Chic is to make sure that um, we're driving all our business efficiencies to make sure that there's efficient revenue on every square meter that we are investing in or building up in DRC.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very important. And I think that, this is very much about AHIF as a whole. And I know that the founders of CHIC also feel the same way, that we're very passionate about the growth of the country and the economy and the local communities as well. So in terms of hotel development, what impact do you see that this hotel development has had on the local economy and tourism in DRC?
So one of the first things, obviously, that's happened is bringing in the hotels themselves boosted employment in terms of construction first as we build them. And just to remind you, and I think remind all maybe to um, inform the listeners, obviously. We're not building one hotel at a time, we're building 5 hotels together. All projects start at a similar time, they're in different time stages. We have one open, and so obviously the remaining 4 are under construction in various stages. Um, we obviously wanted to make sure that uh, with the hotels that are being constructed, there's an opportunity to develop the communities that we're building them in, the business communities as well, the local communities, and obviously generate employment. In the next 2 to 3 years, and then with the current one that we have, we will have about 500 jobs that we'll be creating for the local community with these hotels. Not to mention the impact that it'll have on, you know, the supply chain that we're going to create by trying to localize as much as we can within these 4 cities. And it's not just one city; it's an impact across 4 cities. So we see that's going to happen. The other thing will be it'll help develop the reputation, I think, for Kinshasa, which is poised to become a mega city by 2030. Currently at 17 million population, we're going to be 30 million by 2030. So there's a huge demand for people to come in, converge over here for business. Be it, I think, global initiatives being done by World Bank, the World Health Organization, multiple companies coming in, obviously for mining, investment, infrastructure. This provides a lot of opportunity for us to showcase our quality hotels. It gives, I think, tourists or businessmen coming in a confidence that there is now a branded product in the city. If I have to think twice before coming to Kinshasa because of image and reputation, I'm now at least confident I can get quality accommodation in a safe and clean environment. So I think that's one of the most positive impacts that we're having.
Absolutely. And obviously, there's a lot of risk associated with these large scale hotel developments that we're
Yeah.
discussing and in emerging markets. So, um, are there any strategies that you employ to ensure project success that you could share with us today?
Um, Yes, obviously, like any large scale project we're diving into, which is head on in the way that the partners have done with such ambition, as I keep reminding them, it's sort of unprecedented in markets that I've worked in previously, where you start 5 hotel projects together. You would start one by one, but these are 5 at the same time. But having said that, I think we kind of went through the paces of ensuring that there is a proper assessment of risk and try to mitigate as much as we can. It was either through, for example, we want to reduce the dependency just on the hotel business and try and focus on creating mixed use opportunities so that there's retail, there's F&B as well as attached to the hotel. So it becomes a destination by itself. And the pressure doesn't be just on the asset to perform wholly as a hotel. So we mitigated some of that. There was market research that was conducted to understand the need, which is why with the brands that we fixed. Feasibility studies, obviously, from a long-term perspective.
Yeah.
We want to evaluate what's going to work with us. With our expertise, it helps us on managing construction costs. But obviously, we had to then relook at how we're going to plan this new supply chain that we're doing for hotels. What's critical, obviously, we had a great support with local partnerships and relationships that we already have, which was easy for us to navigate through, the bureaucracy in the country to be able to work around and ensure we are compliant with everything that's required. And the know-how of the land by the partners and their teams made it easier for us as well. And I think being adaptable, um, modeling our work around what's suitable locally rather than being a little flexible as well and not everything that has to be adhered internationally. We're trying to localize a lot of it. So that I think helped us as well. And lastly, I think managing your typical debt equity ratio and making sure that you have good quality control on construction and what we're lucky to have is great project managers. So yeah, this is
So
how we were sort of focused on largely.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, it's very important to have the right partners, and I think that it would be great to talk to you a little bit about your partnership with Accor, which has been
Yeah.
covered a great deal, obviously in the press and so recently, and there's must have been a real process in selecting Accor as a partner, and it would be great for you to explain to us a little bit today about how that collaboration is benefiting these development projects,
Sure.
and how you went about that selection process
Yeah.
with ACO.
So obviously, when they started the process, the initial plan, and I think this was not something we talk about too much, but I'm happy to share it here. The initial plan was to run the hotels ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
The partners wanted to just start the hotels and see if we can, do it. But I guess as it started, they decided that it will obviously be more attractive to bring in a branded partner, and therein began the whole dance, if I say, to with different operators talking to who have never been here. They don't understand the land. They don't understand the demographic, the geography. So we spoke to a number of brands. Well, at the same time, Accor was already in the country with two properties, two Pullmans in the country that they've been running for some time now. And with the, I think the discussions, one thing also that came up, which you have to understand is Kinshasa or DRC is typically been a Belgian colony, where well, a river away from a French colony, which is Congo Brazzaville, and Kinshasa is the largest francophone country in the world. It speaks French as a local language. So and then they do consider themselves French by and large. So Accor seemed like a great fit because quintessentially Accor is French, and it just seemed like a great fit. They're in the country, they know, they understand the market, they understand the demand, and they were very flexible and very keen to bring in the other brands that which were not there earlier. And based on the research we had done, we saw the need for quality accommodation in the segment of 4-star and 3-star. So I think that's when we started, and we signed at. I actually signed rightfully at AHIF in 2019, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. I think this was before my time, but that's when they signed, and they signed the partnership for 3 hotels. It was a big announcement that they made. Subsequently, they went and they added 2 more Ibis styles as they found more opportunity when the hotel started developing. Now, with Accor's know-how and technical ability and their solutions that they have, they were able to bring so much to the project to be able to enhance it in terms of quality, in terms of technology, and obviously help us with savings. So, and today the Novotel Kinshasa in Gombe, which was opened on the 25th of September this year, is a testament to that. Really, it's a fantastic build. It's a great reception. I have the privilege of doing this podcast right from there in their nice quiet boardroom. So yeah, it's been a great partnership with them.
Wonderful. And being a major player in innovation in hospitality as well, that's kind of given the opportunity for you to look at some very specific sort of technology that you're implementing in the hotels now. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Actually, yeah, that's been another exciting part. When we were designing the technical aspect for all the projects, it was very important for us to think about the future, not about now, not about what's there in the market right now, but what's going to happen in the market 10, 15, 20 years from now. And one of that was obviously relying on some of the innovative solutions that Accor had, which are cloud-based systems, both property management or internally. That helped us, I think, a lot also uh, to bring in, which I personally think it's one of the first in the region, but people can correct me. We brought in the digital key into DRC, which I know is first not in the region. I think across Africa, maybe it's the second or third or the fourth hotel, but amongst the Novotel or this brand or across many of the brands, we're the first to introduce a digital key, which allows customers to check in with their mobile phones. And this again, we were very proud to announce this earlier at the AHIF in Nairobi this year when we signed this up for them for all 5 hotels. Uh, Even though mobile adaptability for smartphones is still, I think, at a mere 16 or 17% in DRC, I think our international travelers are a lot more attuned to this when they come in. So it's a great value addition from our end to provide our travelers with the digital check-in to be able to access other tools in the hotel to make their stay as comfortable as possible.
Absolutely, and obviously it further assists in reducing the ecological footprint of the hotels by limiting, the use of the the paper and magnetic cards, and this, as you
Yes,
say, is the future of hospitality and through technology, and that's really what AHIF is about in many ways, and I think that's wonderful. So congratulations to you all. I think
thank you, thank you.
it's a wonderful thing, and we look forward to hearing about it more at AHIF in Namibia, and sort of bringing it back to the event for a little bit. AHIF is there really to play a pivotal role in the African hospitality industry. And what personally are your thoughts on the significance of events like AHIF in fostering development in the region, but also benefiting the wider hospitality and investment community?
So I think if it wasn't for AHIF, we wouldn't have signed. Here, let me start with the importance for CHIC personally. If it wasn't for AHIF, we wouldn't have signed this or brought this great opportunity into DRC. So we're obviously grateful for that platform. I know that the partners have been attending since 2018, and I think the value was obviously seen in what AHIF has been doing. What's critical, I think, that AF truly addresses is the knowledge sharing, the technical know-how, and I think when the shared experiences are discussed, with people across regions in Africa, everyone understands that the landscape obviously varies across Africa, but the challenges also vary. Now, it's not um, easy to do business, obviously, in certain parts of Africa. And I think at the AHIF events, we're able to address these points very directly. And I think it's good to learn from our peers when they talk about the challenges that they encountered when they were building hotels, or rather share the wonderful experience they had where they got support. And I think what's more critical, when I see AHIF coming in, is helping facilitate that dialogue with the government and regulation and authorities, because that is going to be critical in boosting tourism and local demand. If AF continues to obviously uh, cover different regions within Africa each year, and I know that focus is given on how investors or owners and operators can really work together, even in a better synergy to bring really good quality accommodation to these cities. It's going to be instrumental where we continue sharing knowledge, and I think we continue expanding the network of who we invite and engage at these events. Because we obviously met a whole bunch. It was absolutely so beneficial for us for all these years, and we strongly value that association. So AHIF is continue remaining instrumental in I think keeping that dialogue on. I personally would have maybe will rely on AHIF to create that synergy and dialogue for us in DRC with the government to see how we want to do and how we want to progress. Because I think it'll be fantastic given the body of work that you already have in the region.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll definitely do our best to continue to forge these contacts and introductions and relationships and so on. But we're so happy to be working with you as a gold sponsor, and thank you for your continued support. And I think let's put it out there for some closing wise words from you, Suhail, that you would offer to aspiring entrepreneurs and developers who are looking to really make a mark on the African hospitality industry. Given your experiences and your achievements with CHIC, do you have anything you'd like to
I
impart
would.
against
That's a
today?
great question actually, and I think I will share what I tell everyone when I met at AHIF this year earlier. Um, Take the risk. The time is now. This is the
I love
golden period for everyone to because it's coming. There's so much fantastic energy and opportunity on the continent in general with what's happening across Africa. Uh, Given whatever scenario it might be politically or economically, the world will turn to Africa eventually. It's going to be the next growth story, and I think it already is. It's in that phase, and that's the reason people get excited when they come and they experience the energy. Um, I would definitely, besides obviously that off the cuff saying take the risk or the time is now, I will recommend having a great team in place with the technical know-how,
that. Yeah.
and know your market, what you're going to get into, and try and leverage your risk as much as you can. These are my three points I would recommend to anyone who's looking to start up in the industry, for sure. Yeah.
So wonderful. Thank you, Suhail. I think that's something to take away there, and you're right. And I think that the energy and the passion that we all have for working in Africa and in these emerging markets as well, there's great synergy between what we're trying to do and create together. And thank you for sharing your insights today. We wish you all the best with your ongoing and continued success, and we look forward to welcoming you in Namibia in June. So thank you for your time, Suhail, and we'll keep in close touch. And thank you for joining the AHIF podcast this morning.
Thank you very much, Michelle, for your time and for the opportunity. This was wonderful. I really hope I was able to provide some value to your listeners and to AHIF. And thank you for the time again. Thanks.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in. For more information, visit our website at www.ahif.com.